because both skills depend on general intelligence. However, their specific skill in math might be better than their verbal skills, or the other way around. G factor. Superman believes that if you do well on one type of cognitive test, you are likely to do well on others too. This is because they all rely on this general intelligence factor. Number 3, primary mental abilities. Lois Thurston. He is an American psychologist disagrees with Superman's idea of a single general intelligence. Instead, he believes that intelligence is made up of several different primary mental abilities. Number 1, verbal comprehension, understanding words and sentences. Number 2, word fluence, quickly coming up with math problems. Number 3, number facility, being good at solving math problems. Number 4, spatial visualization, being able to imagine and manipulate visual images. Number 5, associative memory, being able to remember and create. Number 6, perceptual speed, quickly noticing details. And the last one, number 7, reasoning, being able to find rules and principles. According to Thurston, someone might be strong in spatial visualization, but not so good at verbal comprehension. He thought his abilities are fairly independent of each other. Why it matters? Because Thurston's work led to the development of tests that measure different mental abilities. It showed that intelligence is complex and that people have different cognitive strengths. That's all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Erika Edmauas. Let's move on to the next theory of intelligence and individual differences. Let's start with multiple intelligences according to Howard Gardner. This theory suggests that people have different strengths and learning styles. Moreover, intelligences is not a single general ability but rather a set of distinct intelligences that are independent of one another. According to Howard Gardner, there are 9 different types of intelligences. First is verbal linguistic, which is the ability to use language effectively both orally and in writing to express yourself and understand others. Example, a teacher uses their verbal linguistic intelligence to explain complex, clearly facilitate discussions, and provide constructive feedback to students. Second is logical mathematical, the capacity to use numbers logically and to analyze problems in a scientific or systematic way. Third one is visual spatial, the ability to take images and pictures, to visualize accurately, and to navigate and orient oneself in space. In simpler terms, it is the talent of thinking using shapes, colors, lines, and space. It's also the ability to see something in your mind even when it is not in front of you. Example, being good at drawing, painting, or sculpting. Number 4, bodily kinesthetic, the ability to control one's body movements and to handle objects skillfully. Example, in dancing. Dancers have a high level of bodily kinesthetic intelligence because they need to control their bodies to perform complex movements and choreography. Fifth one is musical, the ability to produce and appreciate rhythm, pitch, and timbre. In addition, it is the ability to perceive, create, and understand music. Example, composing music, playing an instrument, and singing. Number 6 is interpersonal, the capacity to understand the intentions, motivations, and desires of one. Analytical intelligence. The main point of this is the ability to analyze, evaluate, judge, and compare, and contrast information. Creative intelligence is the ability to generate novel ideas, invent new solutions, and adapt to new situations through imagination and originality. Practical intelligence, also known as street smart, because it is the ability to shape or select environments to achieve personal goals and solve real-world problems effectively. Let's proceed to the last type of intelligence and individual differences. The number 6 theory is cognitive information processing theory according to Atkinson and Shipley. The main point of this theory is that human memory and learning are analogous to a computer, where information is processed through a series of stages. What might these stages be? According to Atkinson and Shipley, the cognitive information processing theory is a multi-store model of memory that proposes information morphs through 3 sequential stages: sensory memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Sensory memory is the main point of sensory is to briefly hold incoming information in its raw form for a few seconds, allowing us to process and attend to it before it quickly fades away. It's what allows us to remember the image of an object you just saw or the sound of car passing by even for a short of time. Short-term memory holds information for about 15 to 30 seconds before it is forgotten or moved to long-term memory. Long-term memory is virtually limitless system for information that has been encoded and rehearsed, allowing us to retain knowledge and skills for extended periods. Example, remembering the lyrics of your favorite song. That's one of the example of long-term memory. So, this concludes my report. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you have learned about intelligence and individual differences.